ladies and gentlemen, do you know what this is? It's my diary. So tell me, honestly, if you knew you could get away with reading someone's personal diary or their letters, would you be tempted?
Yes.
You knew you wouldn't get caught? You wouldn't get in trouble? So what I have for you today, I know you've studied in social studies the ethnic and religious conflict between the groups in Israel, Iraq, and Iran in your social studies classes. And I have for you today 3 books from young people who actually lived those conflicts. The first one is Thurah's Diary, My War in Lifetime Iraq, by Thurah al-Windawi. And Thurah was actually in Baghdad in 2003 when the United States attacked. It was not a surprise attack. It was all over the news. Everybody was talking about the fact that the United States was going to attack Iraq. And here she is living in Baghdad with her whole family for weeks. And as you read her diary, you feel the anticipation of not knowing when this attack is going to happen. Okay? It wasn't her first war either. She was born during the Iran-Iraqi War. She was about 5, 6 years old at the time that we went to war the first time with Iraq, with the Persian Gulf War, and now here's her 3rd war. And you can hear the weariness of another war, the fear, the uncertainty. She writes on April 2nd, 2003, we cooked our food on an oil lamp so we could keep our gas for more important things like boiling water. We ate dinner early tonight. She went to bed really early because we knew the bombardments, the bombs would start soon. Everyone is just drained and worried. Sometimes in the dark, we can't find each other. And when we do, we sit together and hold hands and just wait. Overhead, it's raining. Water, not water, but missiles. And we wonder when the rain will stop. So Thurah's diary, like other young people who might keep a diary, is her way of dealing with a world she can't control. Only instead of her diary being something kept secret, it's something that she invites you to read. Our second selection is from Iran, Persepolis. Persepolis is written by Marjane Satrapi, and it's the story of a childhood. It's actually a memoir, which means sort of an autobiography of a small portion of her life. This young lady started out life in a family that was pretty well off and had relative freedom, and then the Iranian Revolution happened, and the religious government took control of everything in her life. Wearing Nikes, listening to Michael Jackson, anything American, was a bad idea. Games, parties were against the law. You could be arrested, you could be tortured, you could even be executed, and many of her friends and family were. To add to the danger of having your government basically at war with your own people, the country was also fighting a war with Iraq. So it was a very scary time for her. The book, for those of you that really like them, is probably going to have extra appeal by the fact that it's a graphic novel. And you can find it in our graphic novel collection. And Marjane Satrapi was her own illustrator for her book. Our third option has 2 unexpected authors. Not because they're both teenage girls or because they live in Jerusalem, Israel, all of which is true, but because one is Jewish and the other one is Muslim. One's Palestinian and the other one is Israeli. The 2 girls wrote We Just Want to Live Here, Amal Raphael and Odelia Einbinder. And they had met actually in 2000 and sort of started a friendship, and then they fell out of contact with each other because of all the violence that was happening between the 2 people. There were attacks by the Israeli army on Palestinian camps. There were Palestinian terrorist attacks in markets in Israel. And as a result, they'd not spoken to each other in a couple of years. Then a journalist, whose name was Silky Temple. Silky Temple got them together, and they started an exchange of letters. And what this book is a collection of their letters back and forth between each other. They don't offer an easy solution, and there are times, ladies and gentlemen, when they really strongly disagree with each other. But in the end, what they offer us is hope. I hope for equality, writes Amal to Odelia in September in 2002. I hope for a time when differences completely disappear. Not Arab, not Jewish, whatever. This is my land. And then from Odelia back to Amal, also in September 2002, she writes, please understand my words. I know this is our home for both of us. Certainly many things went wrong between the Arabs and Israelis in the last 50 years, but you and I weren't born 50 years ago. I was born 18 years ago, as were you. And with that, we can learn to live together. So we also have We Just Want to Live Here by Amal and Odelia. Thank you for your time.